A battlefield shrouded in mist, filled with the eerie echo of clashing blades and restless war horses. This isn't just battle, it's a stage for ancient monstrosities designed to maim, terrorize, and kill. From the Scythian archers' poisoned arrows in 500 BC to Archimedes' sun-fueled inferno in 212 BC, mankind has ceaselessly innovated in the dark arts of warfare. These tools of destruction were crafted not just to kill, but to incite gut-wrenching fear. What drove mankind to invest so much ingenuity into instruments of death? If you dare to keep watching, you will discover the gruesome details that textbooks often gloss over. Welcome to Pastflix. Archimedes' heat ray, the solar scorch of ancient warfare. In 212 BC, Syracuse faced Roman invasion, its fate resting on Archimedes. Known for his eureka moments in physics, he crafted not a sword, but a sun-powered weapon. Bronze mirrors focused sunlight, setting Roman ships ablaze as if cursed by Apollo. While the heat ray's existence remains debated, it symbolizes the deadly power of intellect. Skeptics question its feasibility, and experiments like those by Johannes Sacas and Mythbusters offer conflicting evidence. Yet the idea of Roman ships spontaneously combusting speaks to its psychological impact. Whether myth or marvel, the heat ray epitomizes the destructive force of genius. Flaming arrows, the sky's fiery rain. From Archimedes' solar wonders, we pivot to flaming arrows, the ancient world's low-tech, high-impact missiles. Used since the first millennium BC by powers like Rome and China, their recipe was deceptively simple: pitch, cloth, and a spark. However, their psychological toll was immense, with tacticians like Zhuge Liang employing them masterfully at the Battle of Red Cliffs in 208 AD. While they may seem basic, ancient recipes for the flaming coating were anything but, featuring complex blends of fats, resins, and quicklime. Greek fire, the inextinguishable blaze of Byzantium. The Greek fire was a liquid terror that could engulf both ships and men and, most terrifyingly, refused to be extinguished by water. First documented in 672 AD, Greek fire was the Byzantine Empire's secret weapon, as mysterious as it was deadly. To this day, the exact formula remains a lost enigma. It's believed to have been a cocktail of quicklime, saltpeter, and petroleum, amongst other ingredients. Greek fire wasn't just a tool of devastation, it was a duality, combining awe-inspiring technological brilliance with unimaginable destructive power. Imagine a fire that even the sea couldn't tame. Such was the paradox that left enemy fleets horrified and historians captivated. Greek fire, a weapon so terrifying it rewrote naval warfare. Khopesh, the sickle sword that harvested souls. Just when you thought the arsenal of antiquity couldn't get more horrifying, we swap fire for steel and the seas for the sands of ancient Egypt. Say hello to the Khopesh, a hybrid weapon that's part sickle, part sword, and wholly terrifying. Originally a farming implement, the Khopesh evolved into a weapon of war around 2000 BC. With its unique crescent shape, it was as useful for hooking shields and weapons as it was for slashing through flesh and bone. Egyptians weren't just architects of monumental pyramids, they were also innovators in instruments of death. Isn't it fascinating how a tool for sustaining life could be so effortlessly reimagined for taking it? The catapult, hurling destruction from a distance. Strap in as we launch into a world of catapults, where physics turns into mass destruction. Born in ancient Greece around 399 BC, these versatile machines, trebuchets, ballista, mangonels, all used tension or counterweight to hurl devastation from afar. Imagine the dread of an incoming boulder or engulfing flames. The catapult made that psychological terror a remote reality, upending the rules of siege warfare. From Rome to medieval strongholds, this machine has left an indelible mark on the annals of conflict. The man-catcher, snaring lives in a metal grasp. If the previous weapons have dazzled you with their range and destructive power, prepare to get up close and personal. We're talking about the man-catcher, a medieval weapon so intimate it was literally designed to grab you. First appearing in European records around the 16th century, this weapon was primarily used to restrain or capture individuals. Usually employed by law enforcement or for personal defense, the man-catcher was a pole fitted with a spring-loaded collar or set of prongs. Here's the eerie part. This weapon didn't just capture, it could also choke, drag, or even hang its target. Though less devastating than our previous entries, its cruelty lies in its ability to capture a person without necessarily killing them, offering a lingering psychological torment. The man-catcher shows us another side of ancient warfare, when the aim wasn't just to kill but to subjugate and humiliate. A cruel, efficient tool. It reflects a time when capture could be as damaging as any blade or flame. The Scorpion, ancient artillery's venomous sting. Meet the Scorpion, the ancient world's sniper rifle, designed for deadly precision. Born in the Roman army in the late 3rd century BC, this mini ballista could nail a foe to a shield or even a tree. Imagine a battlefield where death comes from an invisible hand. The Scorpion introduced the terror of unseen, pinpoint death, aiming not just to kill but to crush morale. It encapsulates Rome's genius for engineering and discipline, delivering lethal strikes with venomous accuracy. Saw-bladed war scythe, the Grim Reaper's wicked cousin. Imagine taking the very tool used to harvest wheat and retrofitting it to reap human lives instead. Behold, the saw-bladed war scythe, a nightmarish mutation of a humble farming implement into a blood-curdling weapon of war. Gaining prominence in the late medieval period, especially among peasant militias, this weapon featured a long pole with a curved blade notched to maximize injury. This was no mere scythe, it was a jagged monster designed to cleave both armor and flesh. What could be more terrifying than facing an enemy wielding what looks like the claw of a demon? The saw-bladed war scythe didn't just kill, its gruesome design made it a tool of psychological warfare. In the hands of a skilled combatant, it was a terror emblem as much as a weapon. In a world of horrific armaments, the saw-bladed war scythe holds a special place, marrying everyday utility with extraordinary brutality. It serves as a grim reminder that the tools we use to sustain life can also be perverted into instruments of death. Caltrops, the ancient landmines with a point to prove. Picture this, a battlefield laden with innocuous-looking spikes that can cripple both man and beast. Enter the caltrop, a deceptively simple yet brutally effective anti-personnel weapon. Sometimes the most understated devices carry the most venom. Caltrops date back to ancient times, with records stretching as far as Roman and even Chinese warfare. Composed of 4 metal points arranged so that one always faces up, they were strewn across battlefields to impede enemy movement. The devilish ingenuity of the caltrop lies in its ability to remain inconspicuous until it's too late. Imagine a soldier or cavalryman focused on the foe ahead only to find their feet or hooves pierced and mobility destroyed. It's a weapon that turns the very ground against you. In terms of psychological impact, the caltrop's might lies in its silent, unseen terror. It is a constant threat, lurking in the soil, turning every step into a gamble. This ancient yet timeless tool epitomizes the cunning that can lie behind even the most unassuming of weapons. War elephants, the thundering titans of ancient battlefields. Just when you thought ancient weaponry couldn't get any more formidable, we introduce the ultimate war machine. A living, breathing, trumpeting colossus. Meet the war elephant, the towering titan that shook the very earth it marched on. Originating as early as the armies of ancient India around the 4th century BC, war elephants were quickly adopted by various empires, including the Persians and Carthaginians. These behemoths were not just muscle, they were strategically employed to crush enemy lines and create chaos. Can you imagine the sheer terror of facing a charging elephant clad in armor and bearing soldiers on its back? The psychological impact was enormous. The war elephant was an icon of dread, serving to demoralize troops long before they clashed tusks with it. So, as we plunge deeper into the annals of horrifying weaponry, let's give due respect to the war elephants. These living juggernauts remind us that sometimes nature's own creatures can be the most devastating weapon of all. Joie, the iron claw that plucked enemies apart. As we leave behind the lumbering majesty of war elephants, we pivot to a weapon of precise mechanical malevolence. Brace yourself for the joie, an ancient Chinese weapon so nightmarishly effective it's as if a bird of prey turned into cold, heartless steel. Making its mark during the era of ancient Chinese warfare, the joie is a testament to the ingenuity of weapon designers who lived over 2,000 years ago. Consisting of a long shaft fitted with a razor-sharp iron claw, it was typically used from atop fortifications to snatch enemy soldiers off ladders and walls. Picture the scene. Besieging soldiers, just inches away from scaling a wall, suddenly being plucked off by an iron talon descending from above. The joie not only killed but did so with an almost macabre theatricality, heightening the dread for those still left below. This is Pastflix, and we'll see you next time.